Welcome back to another episode of the Ark Switch Survival Guide. Today we are going to teach you how to build a fabricator on Ark, and more importantly, how to use a fabricator on Ark to craft items. So a lot of people struggle to figure out how to use a fabricator, but we're going to teach you how to turn on a fabricator, how to power it using gasoline, and how to actually craft items in a fabricator on Ark. We're also going to show you how to make a canteen on Ark and why canteens are so helpful to your Ark adventures. So be sure to watch all the way till the end. Now before we make our fabricator, I'm actually needing to move all of the dinosaurs out of the back of the raft fortress because they were filling up this whole space in the back here and it was really cramped. There actually was not enough room to fit a fabricator back here, and I was going to wait until we actually had a base established, but we picked up a whole bunch of organic polymer on the way down the coast heading down here to our new base location. So I'm actually going to try to craft things using this organic polymer as quickly as possible because organic polymer spoils in 30 minutes. And so I want to make sure I can maximize all of the polymer that I've picked up. And that's the big difference between organic polymer and regular polymer. So I finally am going to build this fabricator. We've been high enough level to make one for a while, but I have not had access to the polymer that you need to make most of the items that you craft in a fabricator. So I'm going to go ahead and learn this, and as you can see, it's reasonably resource intensive, but we've got all of the stuff that we need. And so I'm going to go ahead and craft that fabricator right now. And I want to place it right... What is this guy doing down here? Looks like our Hesperornis just fell off the back shelf there. I tell you what, if those guys didn't produce eggs that make oil, I would toss them right off the back of this raft and just drive away. So if you learn a fabricator engram and you don't know where to find it, it is actually in your smithy under the folder for structures and crafting. And as you can see here, it takes a lot of resources to make a fabricator, but we happen to have all of those already, so I'm going to go ahead and craft that fabricator right now, right here in the smithy. And we should have that somewhere down at the bottom of the list. There we go. So I like to place my fabricator in my raft fortress in a place, and you can see that is just huge. It takes up a lot of space in your base. And I'm going to try to put it somewhere where I can still reach the forges, and I can actually transfer metal from the forges to the fabricator without taking any steps because metal is crazy heavy, and we're going to be using a lot of metal to craft things in the fabricator. And I think if I place this right about here, it's kind of clipping slightly through this shelf, but I should be able to stand right in the middle and still pass metal back and forth between the forge and the fabricator. And I should actually be able to reach it from the smithy too, which will be really helpful. So let's go ahead and drop that there. And you've actually got quite a few things you can fit into the fabricator. It's got a lot of storage space, but it looks like I can reach it from here and reach the smithy. So I can transfer things out of the smithy and out of the forges into the fabricator without taking any steps. And that's not blocking the door, which is perfect. And I may even still be able to fit a dinosaur next to it, which is great. So that's a good spot for that fabricator right there. So now I'm actually going to make some things in that fabricator. And as I showed you on the last episode, the reason I did an episode on how to make gasoline is because we're going to need a lot of gasoline to fuel this fabricator. So I'll put a link in the description for the whole episode about making gasoline and how to get the oil that you need to actually craft that. So I've just been leaving a stack of oil and a stack of hide in this refining forge, and for every 6 oil and 5 hide, it produces 5 gasoline, and it'll just keep running as long as you have that going. Oh, always nice to get some extra fertilizer. So just like when you put wood into the inventory of a cooking fire and then it makes it actually turn on, we're just putting the gasoline in the fabricator's inventory and then we just hit turn on. And you'll notice these little green lights at the bottom are lit when it's turned on, and you can hear that really annoying loud noise, which tells you that that fabricator is actually running. And be sure to remember to turn it off when you're done with it, otherwise it's just going to keep burning gasoline and wasting all that fuel as long as you leave it on. So I always turn it right back off as soon as I'm done with it. So now I'm going to learn the engrams for electronics and polymer, which are the base for most of the things we're going to craft using this fabricator on Ark. And we use pearls for electronics and obsidian for polymer, and both of those are pretty hard to get your hands on, but we'll teach you how to get both of those items later on. And we've been showing you some good guides on where to get pearls, and I'll drop a link in the description for a couple of good places you can use to get pearls for crafting electronics. And we'll do some guides later on where to get polymer, but we've picked up so much organic polymer from those Hesperornis in the last episode that I think we'll have enough to just use that as a substitute and not have to gather any obsidian to make actual polymer. So we're going to hit turn on, which is in the same place as the light fire button with a cooking fire, and that is actually going to activate the fabricator and allow us to craft items. Now, if you want to craft something, you have all the materials and nothing happens, you probably just need to turn the fabricator on. And then I'm going to turn it back off so we don't keep wasting gasoline. And as you can see, we've used a couple of gasoline just to make those electronics. But it works just like a smithy, you just have to turn it on and off. Now you'll notice that the bottom panel here has these green lights, and when you hit turn on, you can also hit the X button to turn it on and off, and you'll hear the noise, the lights come on, and that lets you know the fabricator is active and actively using fuel. So just always remember to turn that fabricator back off when you're done with it, and you'll conserve a lot of gasoline that way. So now that I have this fabricator running, I'm going to go ahead and make all of the components that I need for putting an electrical system in my base, and we'll show you that in the next episode. I'll just go ahead and skip past that for now. But I will go ahead and show you what I'm going to do with the leftover organic polymer. Now you can use organic polymer to craft pieces of a ghillie suit, which is very helpful if you overheat a lot because they keep you very cool. But right now, what's going to help me the most is to make a canteen, which also requires polymer. And I really don't want to go up to the really dangerous mountains to get obsidian, so I'm going to use this organic polymer before it runs out and just go ahead and craft that canteen. Now it's in its own folder under miscellaneous in the fabricator, and I'm going to need some cementing paste and just a couple other materials in order to make that. But the biggest thing you need is that polymer, which is hard to get. And throughout this whole game, I've just been using these water skins so far, and the water skins slowly leak until you run out of water, and they also only hold 100 water. Now, I could have unlocked the water jars, but they use crystal. You have to make a bunch of crystal for them, and they're not all that helpful. They only carry twice as much as a water skin, but a canteen carries 3 times as much water, and it only weighs 2 pounds, whereas water jars actually weigh a lot, and I don't think my Pteranodon could carry me if I was carrying a full water jar. So now that I've got my canteen, it's very lightweight, it doesn't leak, and when I fill it up, I get 300 water, which will be really helpful, especially when I'm using that to water crops, because you can water an entire crop plot with just 1 full canteen instead of making 3 trips with a water skin. So I hope this was all very helpful for you. If it was, please drop a like on this video, and please share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. We just broke 1,000 subscribers, and I have to say thank you so much for all of your help, for everybody that supported this channel. My wife and I are working on doing a video together with her as a special guest as a thank you for hitting 1,000 subscribers, and pretty soon I will announce our next challenge that we will do when we hit 1,100 subscribers. So we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. Ark is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on Ark.